Hello everyone and welcome to MVRugby. Yeah, what can I say? This brilliant weekend of rugby that we had. The Springboks absolutely doing fantastic in their game against Wales at Twickenham. 41-13 victory for the Boks. Brilliant opening to their incoming series for the season. What can I say? They all performed really well, especially with the kind of not really the first choices I would expect for Rassie that went into the game, but he had very limited choices, really. I mean, with all the injuries that's come out of the URC now, Kane and Moody out, but I believe Rassie did the best he could with the team, with the players available. They absolutely performed their hearts out. I think they really had something to fight for. These guys, especially the new fresh blood that came in, and with some previous blood that came in with Ivan Ruiz on the number 8 jersey. And yeah, like Apulele Fassi, I believe he also used to be a Springbok quite a while ago. But yeah, he performed very well in this game. Absolutely outdone himself. Edward van der Merwe really outdoing himself. Fantastic performance by him. Totally deservedly getting the man of the match. So yeah, it was an all-round brilliant show for every single box fan and rugby enthusiast in the world. I think the turnout in Twickenham Stadium was really, really good. I think for people that had to travel so long and so far to get to it. The Wales supporters, I mean, Twickenham Stadium in London, it's fair distance from Wales. And then obviously all the South African supporters that travelled from South Africa, many thousands of kilometers, many hours of flight, really, showing their support for their team, for the Springboks. And then the ref with his yellow cards, I think it was yellow cards for everyone all across the board these days. Wow. And almost like right at the beginning of the first half, there was a yellow card to Rio Dyer, I think for side entry. Totally for being offside. Was it being offside? I think so, yes. And then the yellow card to Aaron Wainwright for a side entry into the loose scrum or into the rolling maul as they sort of bulldozing towards the try line, which saw him earning the Springboks a penalty try and a yellow card for himself. So that was fun, which basically just shows the kind of inexperience by the Welsh players. Sorry. Like I said in my previous video, they only got about 113 caps among the entire team. So yeah, it just shows the kind of inexperience, and it comes through in the discipline in the game. I mean, they were in first half especially, they got penalty after penalty after penalty, giving it away. The box in the scrum was just unfashionable, and it's just absolutely fantastic. As per usual, I mean, they're a very strong scrummaging team. It's probably where they shine, which is why, I think World Rugby decided to really put a stop to it, or put a cork in it, really, for the new method or the new tactic by the Springboks, where they, from the mark, they would call for a scrum. Now, I mean, Rassie contacted Jaco Paper, who was quite an established ref in himself, knows the law in and out of the of rugby, and they checked with him. They asked him, listen, is there any rule in the rule book that basically prohibits us from calling a scrum off of a mark or off of off of a knock or that kind of thing? And he said no, there's absolutely no or off a free kick or off a mark. And he said no, there's absolutely no rules in the rule book that prohibits you from doing that, which is why they did it. And it worked quite successfully. Our scrum has always been very powerful, which would earn us a penalty, then kick it out, which means we get to throw in from a very much more advanced position. And World Rugby, obviously, as soon as they saw this happening, they just decided, okay, no, they've got to put a stop to this. South Africa is really, they can't be winning all this time. And it's not just because I'm, biased towards the Bok. I think if that was the case for any other team, for England or New Zealand, I really would have made a bit of an issue with that as well, because it's now really, they say it's in the interest of keeping the flow of the game going, but that's just bullshit. And if they want to take me to task on that, this is my YouTube channel. If I want to call them out on that kind of thing, I'm pretty free to do so, I'm sure. Yeah, Wales obviously did a very great defense. The Springboks trying to get a lot of attacking moves going in the second half, and the Wales players just doing their level best to kind of slow the game down. We didn't see a lot of running rugby in the second half, except for the first try by my Pimpy in the second half. It was absolutely brilliant. Jordan Hendricks not really performing as he would have liked in his opening debut game for the Springboks. Missed one penalty kick at the beginning. His conversions was brilliant, and then after about 45 minutes, in comes Sasha van Komuzulu and nails a penalty kick from his half. Again, not the kind of distance or record distance put up by Frans Steyn, but wow, for a rookie player coming in and scoring that distance of a penalty kick, absolutely fantastic. Other than that, Sasha Feinberg scoring 100% kick rate in that game. Jordan Hendricks at only about 90%. He missed one goal kick. Like I said, the yellow cards went flying. Apelele Fassi getting a yellow card for giving a boot to the face of one of the Wales players. Now that was kind of controversial in a bit. A lot of people are saying that it should have been a red card. Although I think the ref probably made the best call. I totally agree with him. It is rather large degree of danger, although it was absolutely no malicious intent. Probably just absolutely, by mistake, of trying to balance himself as he's going up in the air, catching the ball coming down, putting the leg out just to kind of, get some balance going there before it goes, hits the ground. So absolutely not on purpose, I don't believe. It was just a stroke of bad luck that the Welsh player was at that angle in that position at the time. So I don't think, I totally agree with the yellow card. They did refer to the bunker, but the bunker decided, obviously, no, stay the yellow card. It's not going to go any further than that. And I'm happy with that decision. All in all, the ref's calls was pretty much spot on. Didn't really miss a single penalty, although there are a few that could have really gone on. I was quite surprised, though, that he didn't give Bongi Benambi the yellow card in the tackle. It wasn't really a tackle. He sort of tried to do a counter ruck. But I mean, you saw in the Munster versus Glasgow Warriors game, the same move was done by a Munster player, and he got the red card. So I think it was the Munster captain, if I'm not mistaken, that got a red card for getting head contact in a clearing attempt. So yeah. Then we had Lake from the Wales team scoring a try in the first half of a quick play. I think the box was in a bit of a disarray at that time. They did relax a bit after seeing Wales having two guys off, and now suddenly having them a 15-man facing a 13-man team. So I think they kind of did relax a bit, which I shouldn't have done. You shouldn't, and no player should ever relax in a game. I mean, you play like the All Blacks, you play a game fully, 80 minutes from start to finish. You give it your all. And I think a lot of people, a lot of players and a lot of teams do make the mistake where they're like comfortably ahead in points, and they just kind of, we don't really need to make a lot of effort there. We can just carry on, and we're going to win this comfortably. And that's when they make the mistake. A lot of times they get too much into a comfort zone, and then the opponents take over, because now the opponents has everything to lose. They got the backs to the wall, so they're going to play full out, the full for 80 minutes. Should never make that mistake. 14-13 score at halftime. Seeing that the Springboks went into the cloakroom, and I'm pretty sure Rassie gave them their little pep talk. I'm not sure if Peter Steph gave them the Cal captain speech, where that is famous for in the World Cup. I vividly remember from Chasing the Sun 2, where Rassie says, look, Rassie, go sit down. Peter Steph spoken. Brilliant. Effort by him as well in the captain seat. Then Mapimpi catches the first try of the second half, also in a brilliant burst of running rugby, especially passing between him and Jesse Creel. The synergy just worked between those two players. Absolutely fantastic. And South Africa is now going to be facing Ireland on the 6th of July. So we'll be looking forward to that. It's going to be a tough game. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Ireland is on top form. If we take them from what they looked like in the World Cup, I'm not quite sure. I mean, no lineup has been released yet for that game from Ireland, so we're going to see how it looks. Are they going to go with all the seasoned players? I think they will be fooled. They will be foolish not to. Those guys are hardened players. They're good at what they do. They really seasoned, and they've got the experience to take on the Boks. So let's wait and see. I'm pretty sure the Boks are not going to underestimate them again. Bulls versus the Warriors. Now that is a bit of a bone of contention for me this weekend. The Bulls played hard. If I could just spend a quick bit of time talking about that game. It was a bit of a slow game. The defensive, the defense on both teams was absolutely world class. Not a lot of breakthroughs by the Warriors, but they could make a bit more of an impact that saw them actually win the game against the Bulls. Villileroux absolutely conspicuously in his absence, as you saw no up and overs in that game, which was a bit of a problem with the Bulls. They couldn't make any viable breakthroughs. Any breakthroughs they could do ended up being stopped short of the try line. They really gave it their all, and they played like they've got everything to lose. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. I guess the Warriors just wanted it more. So fair play to the Warriors. Well done. Hope you guys enjoy your championship trophy. Maybe next season, Bulls, you can surprise us. Maybe the Lions will surprise us next season. They were also in top form this season. Stormers, how about another one, another time bring it home for the Western Cape. But all the teams really played well. They really looked like they were in top form. Unfortunately, it just wasn't to be for a lot of them. But then again, in every game there has to be a winner, there has to be a loser. And that is just the unfortunate thing of it. Sometimes you can't just win all the time. Although we'd like to, it's not possible. We have to think realistically. So that is my take on this weekend's rugby for now. We'll be seeing how it goes going forward coming to the 6th of July. And it's something we'll all be looking forward to. I'm pretty sure we're already making plans for the brides that weekend. Thank you for watching, guys. Always appreciate your support, and have a good one.